Welcome back to List One MPA. If you're a parent, I'm sure you have had this moment. It's midnight, your kids are finally in bed, the house is quiet, and then the thought creeps in. Like, what if something happens to me? Who would look after my children? In a new country, that thought hits differently. Back home, you had a safety net, extended family, a system you understood. But here, you are the foundation. And if that foundation cracks, what happens to everything you have worked so hard to build? Today, let's talk about the one thing most immigrant families avoid until it's too late. My name is Liz Wong. I've moved to the UK from Hong Kong in 2021. And before becoming an FCA regulated mortgage and protection advisor here, I spent 18 years as a teacher working with families from Thailand, Hong Kong, and the UK. I didn't choose this career randomly. I lived the need for it. My husband once injured his hand and couldn't work for 3 months. In the UK, if you can't work, statutory sick pay is £118.75 a week, taxable. And it doesn't even cover the first 3 days. That was a wake-up call. That moment, I qualified as an advisor. I took out protection policies for both of us immediately to make sure that if we fall ill or get injury in the future, the insurer pays out a monthly income to replace what we have lost. Finding the right coverage for my husband actually wasn't straightforward, given his occupation, but because I now understand the system, I'm also working in the system, I found the most suitable one for him. For the first time after his injury incident, I stopped losing sleep over what ifs. Over the past year, I've spoken with dozens of families here in the UK, and almost every single conversation follows the same pattern. They know they should have protection policies. They've thought about it, but there's always something else, like a boiler repair, a car bill, a house move. It's never the right month. I totally get that. But I've also seen what happens when next month runs out. A mother I met, let's call her Sarah, had a warm, hard-working husband. Let's call him David here. The daughter was my son's classmate during primary school. A very lovely family. Back then, Sarah and I would chat in front of the school gate, talking randomly about families, holidays, birthday parties. And I still remember in one of our conversations, we actually talked about insurance protection policies like that. And Sarah told me that David would talk about policies with her as well. However, he would say just next month, because there was always something more urgent. Then one day, suddenly Sarah disappeared from the school gate. At first, I thought, oh, probably she was ill like that. However, after like a month, and then I still didn't see her. So I call her, then check on her like that. And that's the time I heard a very shocking news. She told me that David had passed away suddenly because of a heart attack at the age of 45. And you know what? Because the protection policies were never finalized, Sarah's world collapsed. Her income alone couldn't pass the lender's affordability, eventually she had to move to somewhere with cheaper rent. Her daughter had to leave friends and change school because of the home move. And Sarah had to return to full-time job almost immediately because bills don't stop for grief. And you know what the hardest part? According to Sarah, she said, whenever the little girl asked her this question, "Mummy, I miss Daddy. Are we gonna be okay when Daddy is not here anymore?" And here is what frustrates me. The UK protection system isn't that complicated, but of course, nobody explains it to you when you arrive here as an immigrant. And if you came from, let's say, Hong Kong or another country, your instincts may be to trust that the UK government will catch you. It won't. Not really. Statutory sick pay is minimal, and you don't have extended family here. You don't have a safety net here. And of course, the mortgage lender won't wait. So that's not morbid. That's just the reality of how this country works. And once you understand that, preparation stops feeling like bad luck and start feeling like the most loving thing you can do for your family. We are rebuilding a life here, and rebuilding means thinking ahead. That quiet weight you carry, the worry, the responsibility, the what ifs at midnight, that's not fear. That's love, and love deserves a plan. So, here's what a proper plan actually protects. Your mortgage gets paid off. Your family keeps their home. Your partner has time to grieve. Your children's lives stay stable. Same school, same friends, same routines. So right now, take a piece of paper, take a pen, and answer these 3 questions. Number 1, if I couldn't work for 6 months, what would happen to my family? Number 2, if I wasn't here, is there anything in place to support them? Number 3, if I have a policy from years ago, does it actually reflect my family's needs today? Now, write these answers down, okay? And reflect. Because you love your family. Because you care. I create this space, this channel, because I believe every family deserves to understand their options before they're in crisis, not after. As I always say, in a world full of AI, hearts still win over algorithm. But please remember this. Everything on this channel is for educational purpose only, because every family is different, and I would only provide personalized advice only after a full fact find. But of course, if you'd like to explore more about life protection, mortgage, stories, heart-touching content, subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to give this video a like, and you can share this with another immigrant parent who might be carrying these quiet worries. I'll see you in the next one.